Facebook, First Take fam, what's up? We just wrapped up the show, and he's back. Your guy Max giving us some bonus time, which we always appreciate. This first question here, Robert Smith. I feel your pain because I picked Arizona to face the Patriots. I did cheat in the Super Bowl. He had the Cardinals as one of his favorites to make it to the Super Bowl with a 1-3 record. Will they be able to bounce back with their remaining schedule? How? Obviously, they play tonight.
I don't. It's possible, especially if they win tonight. Even if they lose tonight, it's possible. When you look at the NFC, the Packers are the likely wild card out of the North. Who else is the wild card? The NFC East, some great teams. Let's say it.
Right now it'd be the Eagles.
The Eagles come out of the NFC East, though. Who's the wild card? Washington, Dallas, New York. None of those teams, you don't think of any of those teams as 10-win type teams. So maybe they could win 9 games, even if they lost to San Francisco, go 8-4, whatever that is, the rest of the way. They don't have the most brutal schedule, especially the way Carolina's playing. I never thought they were Super Bowl favorites, though, because of the way they looked at the end of last year. They got throttled by Seattle.
Yeah.
Last game of the regular season, they just got by a Packers team that was not themselves, and then they got throttled by Carolina.
And they choked. But you know what? To that point, let me interrupt you for a second. Because of that, and they had all the parts, and because the choke job by Carson Palmer, I kind of felt this year their defense got even better. So this was the year they learned from that and rebound.
And David Johnson was supposed to be there, and they are underachieving.
It looked promising, and with Bruce Arians, but not looking so hot. But it's certainly not over.
Bottom line is Russell Wilson or Carson Palmer. If there other things are more or less equal, and I think Seattle's a little better, Russell Wilson all day.
Or Russell Wilson or Drew Stanton. But
right,
just
Drew
details.
Stanton in this case. Yeah.
Yes. This one's from Patrick Truxa. Why did you guys miss on Derek Carr on your top 5 quarterback list?
Because I don't think he's there. It's funny because there aren't a lot of spaces in the top 5. Yeah. Like when Mount Rushmores were popular a couple of years ago. Remember, everyone had a Mount. Who's on your Mount Rushmore? Yeah. It's really it's a process of editing, right? Who are you going to leave out? That's why the lists are fun. Not who's on, who's not on. So okay, why is he not in the top 5 quarterbacks? Obviously not based on his career, but right now, who's playing better than Carr? Well, take the Vikings game out. Aaron Rodgers is better than Carr. If you could take either one so far this season, right now, you take Aaron Rodgers. But, of course, Zimmer's made a living on figuring out Aaron Rodgers, so the Vikings game made him look less than himself. But Aaron Rodgers, 100%. At the time we did the list, Phillip Rivers was playing better than Derek Carr. Ben Roethlisberger, I don't think there's that much argument there. And just start thinking
Obviously, Brady's coming back. Matt
Ryan has to be on the list.
Out.
Matt Ryan's number 1 in the league right now. Russell Wilson, considering what he's dealing with on that offensive line and how he's played. And I mean, there are 10 other guys I'm not thinking of right now.
Could you put
Carson
him even above Derek Carr right now?
So far this year, yes, absolutely.
But Derek Carr is legit. And in Oakland, I mean, they're on the come up, certainly.
Everyone's a year too early on them because the defense isn't right yet. But the offense, they have the pieces.
Yep, no question. You mentioned Phillip Rivers. A little revisionist history here from Jose. He says, how about the New York Giants trading Eli Manning to the Chargers and bring back their first-round pick, Phillip Rivers, who's a gunslinger and fits well with this West Coast offense? Would you want Rivers as the Giants quarterback?
I love Phillip Rivers. We don't need Phillip Rivers on the Giants in New York. I am a Giants fan. I mean, that's like the team I'm passionate about. No, I mean, Roethlisberger, Rivers, and Eli went in the same draft. And there was talk at the time, I remember, maybe the Giants...
Take Roethlisberger.
Yeah, don't trade up, trade down.
That's so awful.
Get Roethlisberger, but actually...
Imagine we had Roethlisberger.
Well, imagine if we did have Roethlisberger. He has not played in the playoffs as well as Eli Manning. He has not played as well as Eli Manning in the playoffs. He's played very well. Eli has played better. He's gone on the road to beat Brett Favre at Lambeau, to beat Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau. In the playoffs.
No, he was Mr. Fourth Quarter for a while, and that's when he shined.
And those 2 playoff runs were the 2, Nate Silver did a whole thing, who's the most clutch postseason quarterback ever? Eli Manning won it by so much, he redid his methodology. He said, okay, fine, but let me redo it in a way where Trent Dilfer isn't on this list. Let's edit out so he redid his whole methodology, and this time, number 2 was Joe Montana, and by a little bit was Eli Manning, number 1. Most clutch postseason quarterback. So my point is, Ben Roethlisberger would not make the team so much better than Eli that the Giants are winning Super Bowls because that's the difference. And in fact, Eli's clutch performances gave the Giants 2 Super Bowls, so I wouldn't do anything different.
Max, do you remember those years when he won the Super Bowl? Was their record 9-7?
Yeah.
Both times.
The second time, yes. I believe the first time also.
Okay. Moving on here. This one from TJ Villardo. Why do you say Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL? Thank you. Thank you.
As opposed to?
It's clearly Brady.
That's
TJ
clearly
Villardo.
not.
Thank you for speaking some sense here.
No. Tom Brady.
When First Take continued, Facebook in the makeup room.
Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. And it's been more about Belichick than Brady. So how can those two things be true? Well, if you have two equally bright kids, one goes to community college, one goes to Harvard. At the end of 4 years,
I don't like this argument.
the kid who
what
went,
if the kid from community college has more hunger?
Okay, what I'm telling you is equally bright kids, one goes to community college, one goes to Harvard, it is very likely that the kid who goes to Harvard winds up better educated, smarter than the kid who went to community college.
What if his work ethic isn't as good though?
I'm equalizing for those things.
Okay.
So the point is to say, well, Tom Brady had Belichick. Belichick made him a great player. I think that's true, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Tom Brady did go to Harvard. He did, he does have that education, and he is in fact an incredibly great player.
So that hurts him that he's with Belichick.
No, it doesn't hurt him at all. What I'm saying is,
in terms of this argument,
he's on a great team. He's a great quarterback on a great team. If the Patriots could trade Tom Brady for Aaron Rodgers, they would do that so quick it would make your head spin. Aaron Rodgers, he's better than Tom Brady. He's better. And Brady,
in clutch
as
moments,
a career,
postseason, mentally tough.
Tom Brady has not proven to be an especially clutch quarterback. In other words, there's a difference between a guy who's great and in the postseason remains his normal great self, and a player who's playing at whatever level that is, and in the playoffs or in a big moment gets even better, right? So like in the postseason right now, we see Madison Bumgarner is a great pitcher who undeniably, under pressure, gets even better. Kurt Schilling was that way. El Duque was only a good pitcher by the time he was in the majors, but in the postseason he was great. Mariano Rivera is the greatest inning for inning of all time. Postseason got even better somehow. There are players like that. Tom Brady I would not describe that way. I would say Tom Brady's more like a Derek Jeter or a Kobe Bryant. He gets credit for being clutch because he's always great. And when you see him in the postseason, there he is, being his normal great self. But I wouldn't say Tom Brady or Derek Jeter or Kobe Bryant got even better in the playoffs. They just stayed who they were.
Consistent through regular season playoffs. And then a guy like Peyton Manning, who was stronger in regular season, then,
But there are guys like Eli, who's not as good as those guys, who actually get better. Aaron Rodgers, I saw him play a game against Arizona in these last playoffs where I'm watching it with
Hail Marys.
I'm watching the game with Ryan Hollins, the veteran backup center. We're at my place where the families are together and we're watching the game. And we both worked at 710 at ESPN Radio. And we're watching it. I'm like, okay, Aaron Rodgers, you're the baddest dude on the planet. Let's see you win this game right now. The player had a shot at the ball. Then they call it back. And we're laughing. And I'm like, okay, Aaron Rodgers, if you're really the baddest,
you're legit.
Let me see you do it again.
And he did it. That game was so sick. I remember. He is more athletic.
Tom Brady can't do that. What Aaron Rodgers did, he can't make that play. No.
See, this is why I couldn't debate people. All right, coming up here, this one is from Joe Islam. If Odell continues to act the way he is, will he be traded? They better not.
I mean, if you get Andrew Luck for him, do it. I mean, how are you going to get equal value for Odell Beckham on the trade market? It's not possible. And no, you don't trade the most talented receiver in football. You hold on to him.
No.
I'll say this. When the Giants had, and these are not Odell Beckham level talents, but they were among the elite at their position at the time, Jeremy Shockey and Tiki Barber, tight end, running back. Once they left the team is when the Giants won those two Super Bowls.
Jeremy Shockey,
They won the two Super Bowls when the carnival around those two guys was gone. The distraction was gone. Now that may just be correlation, or it may be causal. Maybe it's actually
it's not
because
their identity though. They're more blue collar, lunch pail type, like you had mentioned on the show. Steelers, Patriots, and we just want to make sure they're not getting away from that now with the coaching staff.
No doubt, but Odell is a different level talent than Shockey or Tiki Barber, and I would hate to see him trade him.
No question. Special guy. Thank you, Facebook fans. Continue to watch us on First Take, please, 10 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to be doing these weekly with Max and Stephen A. So hit us up on the First Take Facebook page anytime. Give us those questions, and we will answer them. See you all tomorrow. Have a great night. Enjoy the game.